Alright, what's good guys? Welcome to another backtesting episode. Still trying to do an episode of these at least once a week to build up my skills and also to take my time off the charts and continue sharpening the sword per se. The last video I put some music I made in the background and the watch time increased a lot more, so I'm just gonna make another beat before we get started on this backtesting session and bring you guys with me for how I make beats. Let's go from there. Alright, so I picked out a sample. I really like this one. Yeah, something like that. And we're just gonna shift it so it's slightly off time. Just makes it a bit more boom bappy. Alright, so just added a little clap. Next one is kick. Alright, added this kick drum in now. Might not be able to hear it, but you'll hear it in the track when it's done. Now I'm probably gonna add just like a little shaker. Just a subtle little shaker. And just for a little bit of flavor, we added a snare and some offbeats as well, just to give it a bit more balance. So now that we have each element added in, we're just going to layer it so it comes in sort of one at a time. So I'm liking the beat, but I think I might slow it down, and especially if I'm talking, you don't want two vocals going at the same time. It just clashes and you can't hear either. So I'm gonna pitch it down so her voice is a bit more muffled, add some effects, and then call it a day. Right click, make sure it's project tempo, that way we can slow this down. It's like 80. Bit of a different vibe, a bit more slow. I think maybe just a little bit faster. Then now we pitch down her voice. A bit more jazzy type of feel now too as well. Sweet, so that's pretty much it, and then now we'll just mix the track just so it sounds a bit more pleasant on the ears, especially if you're going to be hearing it over and over and over. If something is a little bit off, it will stand out very clearly. So I'll run you through what I do. I keep it really simple, adding some soft clipper, pretty soft clipper, which basically will mean that the track doesn't get too loud, it won't go crazy on us. So we added our fruity clipper. Next, we're going to add a plugin that I love using. It's called Lifeline Expand. It just gives a track a mastered feel without you having to do too much, which is really what a plugin should help you with, right? So I think we'll go with the Master Sparkle, and then we'll just add a tiny bit of reverb to the whole thing. The reverb is that effect when you see slowed and reverb songs, how they add like a lot of echo and just makes the track a bit more airy and spacey, which is pretty cool. So add some reverb in here too, just a little bit, nothing too much. Beauty. The last thing we're going to do is make the intro sound a bit cool. So you can take out certain frequencies. This is the full track, and then I'll move it just to the low end to start, and then slowly bring the full track in. This is just the low end. And this will be the intro. So it doesn't just come in all at once. Get it to the start point, then right click on this button, right click, create automation clip. This is the starting point. Just bring this up, we'll just see it all the way full. and then you're just going to right click anywhere in here, which will just add like another point in, and this should actually be about like here, or the full track to start in about here, and just raise these up so it slowly gradually goes up as the song is coming in. And that's it. Just let the track play out. I might speed it up just a little bit. It is still just a little bit slow at this speed. So maybe like 86. And that's how I make my tracks in the background of the songs. So we'll add this one in and go from there. Alright, and so yep, now I'm exporting the beat, and once it's done, we'll add it into the backtesting session. Thanks for joining me on that. Alright, we are back into it. I think we do another week or two with the data and just implement what I've been trying to do on the live funded account. That's just $200 max loss a day. That's all we have afforded per day for the risk, and we can trade in either London and New York in this case. So this is probably going to be what I'm going to be doing with my personal account as well. With the fundeds, I've obviously got the profit target of $300 that I'm sticking with at the moment, and that's been going really well. I'm a few episodes ahead, so they are still coming out. You just got to stay tuned. But basically $300 is where I cut myself out for the day. In this case though, because I'm treating it as real funds, I don't want to cap myself on the amount, and that's the one thing I don't like about prop. All the rules you got to hit, which just adds a lot more into the equation of trading and following the market. So yeah, we'll go 2 weeks worth of content, just zooming out into a daily time frame. Just check what day it is first. So it's Monday, but Monday afternoon, so we're going to be trading Tuesday. I'm just going to mark out Monday's high and low. Blue. Alright, so I got these labeled, usually with Tuesday being running for either Monday or Tuesday's high as a bit of a judo, and then the rest of the week goes the opposite direction. Based on the fact that we have been pushing up quite high, I don't want to fight the trend of looking at longs, but we can see here we have taken the liquidity that was resting back here probably at the start or 2 weeks ago. The move closed pretty bearish as well. Monday we didn't get that energetic push up, which would indicate the trend continues. So I'm thinking more than likely we might be pushing down for Tuesday. So it makes sense if Tuesday we take Monday's high and then displace to the downside. So we're just going to go to silver bullet on London session. We can see that we closed pretty bearish. We might not get all the way back up to the high. We might just stop halfway through, maybe in these regions here. But we're just going to be waiting for the displacement and then looking to see if we can join in on the move, and then just trailing stops. I really want to continue working on that. That's been going pretty well for me in the live account. So let this play out for a little bit, see what the market wants to do. So take an Asian session, just seeing if we get that displacement to the downside, especially below midnight. If we close below midnight, I'll be looking for a short opportunity here. So midnight is so important as well. It does act like a pretty big support. So the move is probably to the upside based on that reaction, and then just targeting Monday's high. So I think we can still look to get in here. Just being mindful, it's already been 4 o'clock as well, but that's okay. We're gonna have really tight stops here because I don't want it to come back down below this low. If it does, potentially we can look to get in here, which will give us a better risk reward. Ideally, we take Monday's high first. It's about a 2.65 risk reward, it's not bad. Missing our order. So yeah, estimated loss 200. We're just keeping it at that max amount for now. And again, this isn't the main move that I'm really interested in. We are still in a bit of a uptrend on a daily, so this is a really good position to be in. Either we get there or we don't, but at least if we don't, we'll know that now we can actually get in on this downward move, which hopefully is going to give us a bit of risk reward than what we have right now. So I'm just going to hit save. We could have waited till we came down here a little bit on the 15, even on the 5, and we also have VWAP sitting right here as well. So we might have to cut this one a little bit early. Let's just let this play out. I think the draw does look like it's going to be Monday's high now. So if we can take out this swing low and then respect and go up, we'll move stops to break even. Right now I still think that's a bit of a liquidity draw for where we're sitting at. So I don't want to move stops to break even just yet. Let's see, okay. So if we can take this high, stops will go to break even. Looks like we're struggling to get above. We're going to move stops just below this swing line now. We've just hit, yeah, we're going to adjust our stops here. After so many attempts, that doesn't look too good. Should just hit tap once and then go. To be honest, I'm contemplating we just cut this one. It is still pretty early. We haven't had any 8:30 opens or anything like that. I might just trim the risk. We'll just go a little bit less, so it's not full R we're going to be losing. Alright, we've just taken that high. See if we can take this high here at around 0.25. Alright, nice. Stops at break even here. Just gonna be mindful for 8:30 open as well, because there is usually a lot of volatility. Alright, looks like we might get stopped at break even. Alright, break even. Taken out here, bit of displacement to the downside. Ideally we still pump up and push for Monday's high before this lower move, but we've just got to watch the displacement. So 8:30 open, just hit, more than likely our judo for the day. Let's see if we can take those highs. Maybe 9:30. Alright, there's 9:30 open. Displacement to the downside, we can look just to jump in short here. Stops resting just above this high. And really, like, the target could be anywhere all the way down in here. I think we'll drop this back down to a 4 hour. Really got Monday's low for our first partial. And then ideally, like, somewhere down in here is where I'll be looking at. Still not a great risk reward just because we got in pretty late. Might see if we can adjust this to see if we can get back in here. Risk reward's just going to be a little bit better for us. Let's see if we're afforded any pullback. The only reason I'm a bit worried is because this might just absolutely explode. If it does, it is what it is. Midnight right there. Alright, pushing back a little bit. VWAP. Alright, cool. Patience does pay a little bit there then. I don't like that we still haven't closed below midnight, but all of this volatility right here is a good sign that we should be pushing a bit lower now. So keep everything the same. Looking to partial off about half of the position if we can get down to Monday's low. But we should be hopefully spooling a lot lower. Let's see how we go here. Not the greatest reaction off the bat. Ideally wouldn't want to be pushing that high. Yeah, stop that. We might just be going for Monday's high first here. Let's have a look. There's 10-10s right there. Looks like we didn't take out London as well. I still think the move is lower. Let's keep watching this for a bit, see what PM session wants to bring, if anything. The 15 is looking pretty ugly, to be fair. We have still respected this to be though on a 15, so it might actually be worthwhile looking to re-enter this, tapping off VWAP, trying to go up higher. We can't. Yeah, okay. I think we take this once again, and if we run for Monday's high, it is what it is. Equal highs right there though. I probably won't risk the full 200 on this move. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be the full move, just with those equal highs that we have left as well. Put the risk at 100. Let's see how we go. Again, Monday's lows where we'd be looking to partial off some of the position. We are still very bullish on the trend, so we're just going to be mindful of that. Just let this run for a bit. We really need to close below midnight. Alright, there's the first close. Stops can definitely come down to the swing high here. Alright, so there's our first partial. We're going to take off 50% here. We're just going to be trailing now on a 15-minute and seeing how much of this move we can capture if it wants to keep going for us. If we get a reaction off midnight to the downside. Just watching this 15 mainly. Stops can definitely come, break even. Probably put it just above this swing high. We've got VWAP resting for a little bit of support on a 15 there. Let's see if we get this spooling to the downside. Speed this up a bit. There's the VWAP tap and breakthrough. So that's pretty much back break even for the session. We haven't taken Monday's high. So Tuesday we just took Monday's low, which leads me to believe that the rest of this week we should be looking for longs. Honestly, this could be an overnight play as well. But pretty much just going long straight in here. Ideally maybe a tap off VWAP, but I don't think we're going to get it, especially after wicking all of this. If we had a volume indicator, it would be nice to see how much volume left here as well. You could run a little tiny play below midnight. It would be like a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Let that swing low. Just risk $100. Getting in on market here and just targeting the highs. Lots of liquidity resting above all that too. Accumulation here, just watching the 15, volumes clearly died off as we can see. Still gaps in here that we could look to go fill, but I still think Monday's high is going to be the draw for us here. Hopefully this takes us into the London session for tomorrow. Obviously wouldn't be doing this for real, like leaving positions overnight, things like that. See where Asian session wants to go here. Might just build up liquidity until London looks to be the case. So there's midnight. Ideally we look to take Asian session low, bounce off one of these 15-minute BCs in here. That's a decent reaction on a 15. So that pretty much just indicates that people have sold off their positions here respecting this BC. I'm looking to add into this position right here. Going to get a better risk reward for sure. Stops can go just here on this position, and then still the same target of Monday's high. Ideally, if you can be looking for 1 to 3 risk to rewards, and you can hit a few of them a week, it's not a bad thing to be taking home. If you can hit 1 a day for 5 a week, it's 15 hour. Add that up over time, it starts getting pretty heavy. So 200, yeah, stops just below. It's 2 o'clock, looking for that push for Monday's high. About to be taken out on this first position here. We went right down to this CB. Should have used this one as the breakaway gap as we did for the first position, but that's right. Can look to just re-enter here as well. So 3 o'clock. See if we take out any more liquidity. Went to this final spot in here. Let's see if we can start inverting on a 5. Otherwise we might still be looking for lower prices here. Taking out there, see if we respect on a 15-minute. Got to start seeing market structure shifts on a 5-minute for us to start moving to the upside here. We need to see closures as well. Going back down to Monday's low. So I think the original plan of the week, where we spool to take some of this out, is more than likely going to be the play here. So especially on times like this when we've tried to go up, I think our best bet here now is to just jump in on the displacement move to the downside. Very unlikely that we take out Tuesday's low again and then reverse back to the upside. Especially with how the 4 hours looking. Now just check the hourly. It's just inverting all of this as well, already going back up. Ideally we could wait, see if we can get something to come back to here. But to be fair, I think we just jump in on the move here short. I'm not going to set a TP for this one because we'll see where the market decides to come back in. I'm going to see if I can add a volume indicator here as well. It really does help just to see, yeah, beauty. Especially on like the lower time frames, when people are getting out. So 5-minute volume will be good to let us know when the reversals are more than likely occurring, as we're seeing a crazy volume jumping into the bearish side now. Set our TP, no real limit to be honest, back to 200. Happy to take this one, and then just managing the risk as we go down. Still got big gaps in here on a 15, so just gonna wait and see the reaction here, and just watching the volume as well. So even though it looks big, the volume is still a lot lower than these candles, so I'm not too worried. To see where the turnaround point is, where we can start seeing volume pick up on the seller side, and then we'll look to see if we can potentially partial in. So I've gone up to this 15-minute CB, see if we can start seeing some volume on the sell side. VWAP on a 5-minute right there. Okay, increased volume now, still comparing it to these candles here back at 4. First sign, but then it's been eaten right back up by buyers, so that's not great for us here. See if we can start getting some displacement to the downside. 15-minute isn't looking too great. It's a lot of taps in that region. It's not looking too nice. Let's just check the hourly. We still do have this gap in here on an hourly level. Just trying to see where this hourly CB is. Right there, that blue line. Okay, still got gaps in here as well. Got midnight resting there too. I'm potentially just going to take myself out and look to see if we can get in at this blue line. I think that's going to be the play here. So it's 200, we're about 70 away. And ideally looking for a push this blue line, and then we'll just look to get in, and it'll be a better risk reward for us. Let's see. Waiting for the opens as well now. So 8:30 coming, hopefully we get a push up from the 8:30 open. And just watching the displacement now. Big volume in there, but as you can see, we close with a bit of a doji. So just gotta be mindful. Looking for that big volume to the downside for us to just jump into the trade. Otherwise, we still just gotta be patient here. So 9:30 open. Already big volume to the downside. I think we can look to just jump back in. So a bit frustrating. I don't think we would have been taken out, because I think we had our stop at this high right here. We would have just been in, but that's okay. I do think there was reason for price to go a little bit higher there, so that's all good. We just jumped back in. Like, again, if the risk reward is nice and your risk on what you're losing is small, it does matter. Don't go crazy, obviously, but it's not that big of a deal to just take yourself out. Cop the small loss and then get the big gain. So hopefully now we get this spooling event to the downside. Respecting VWAP on all these higher time frames as well now. Momentum should still be to the downside here. See if we can start spooling on this candle. I don't like that we didn't close below all of this, especially on the higher time frames here. And just looking at the volume on these candles as well. The highest volume is here where we have people exiting as well. So this isn't looking too great, not gonna lie. Let me adjust stops to this swing high. Less risk on the table. Holding that 5-minute CB for now, but no displacement away. It's pretty choppy conditions. Doesn't look like the cleanest price action. You see where this hourly wants to go. I didn't like the wick and then no closure below this. Like, this is really not what we want to see if we continue moving. But I don't know, we still got this hourly level in here as well. Still got Monday's high left untapped. because we haven't really pushed past Monday's low at all here too. Just come back again for it. And where are we now? This is Wednesday. I'm just taking Tuesday's low. Okay, interesting. So weekly profile wise, we should be expecting price to go up, but honestly I can't read it, and in real life situations this is where I need to just chill. I can't read what's going on, I don't have an idea, so I don't need to trade. That's fine. But let this one play out. So annoying. And there we go, at that blue line we outlined before. Wow. So yeah, the move was correct. We should have taken ourselves out here when we did. I got spooked by this liquidity jumping in. Then we've had this run up, and then 12 o'clock reversal. Yeah, and then lunchtime reversal away. Everyone's selling out of their long positions in here. That's super frustrating. Going to this hourly CB as well. Looks like we're going to invert this. Now it does greenlight me to look for shorts. I think that is all the liquidity we needed to actually get this push down. Still seeing volume coming up. I'll add a volume indicator on the 15 as well. That'd be a good idea. Start that. Alright. And let's see if we can get a position in to ride this down until close of day. That's not a bad spot. Watching the 15. We do have a 15-minute CV up in here as well, but we do have VWAP here, which is going to act like a barrier. We're going to take this in here. Stops at this swing high. Still targeting the move. I've seen this in the live markets a lot too, and it can be pretty discouraging, like after you take loss after loss after loss. But if what you're seeing is still being presented and it's still your model, like still take the position, still take the trade. Let's see how this one pans out. I think we're at that 15-minute CB which we spoke about. Yeah, up in here taking out that liquidity. Don't like that we got so high up. Inverting everything on the downside now. 2 o'clock now. What's happening? We're really struggling to get down here. I think buyers are just really trying to hold this as a support level. But I think just based on the high time frames, what we're seeing now, 4 hour as well, I think we do get that push lower. 15-minute VWAP tap. Can actually look to add into the position here. Just going to adjust stops. Still pushing lower and lower here, so we're just going to add in half of our original position. This one's for big tug of war going on. Alright, so there's us pulling to the downside now. Watch the higher time frames here for where price should more than likely start looking to reverse. Okay. So that's our 4 hour busy. We've got our daily busy in here. And then we also have some 4 hours along the way in here as well. So just going to be labeling these. So it can get potentially all the way down here. I didn't even mean to have my TP all the way down here, but it could floor. So we're just going to trail our stops and see how far this goes. This is why I like trailing as well. Learned this from Trader Kane. He doesn't do partials or anything like that. And I think it's been working. It's nice to know that the trade's done when it's done. And that helps you to walk away a bit more. I feel silly when I take myself fully out, like I don't partial, I have a runner going and I'm still looking at my charts. That's when I overtrade, take another trade. It's a nice trigger warning. You've taken profit, you're done. Come back tomorrow. See how we go here. Still spooling low, which is good to see. stops can definitely be moved just to above this swing high here on a 5. We do have a 15-minute CB in here though, which isn't ideal. Just waiting to see the reactions at these lines that we've outlined as well. Okay, new day open right here. So ideally we probably should have been closing out our position here. I think it makes sense. I think we'll take ourselves out of the partial that we added in. Actually, we probably should take it out of this one. That way if it comes back on us, we're still going to be in profit. So it's new day, probably should have closed ourselves out. I'm going to leave this one as a runner. Probably move this just a little bit above break even, leaving this 15-minute CB as a bit of a gap. Probably go right at break even, to be honest. If we're coming back up there, we might have respect on these levels. We should still keep pumping lower though. Let's see how this one wants to play out. Speed this up. Looks like we're pushing higher, so I'm just going to take myself out of this one as well. If we fall back, it is what it is. Alright, nice. So that's pretty much the day. We're still down about 200-300, but that's okay. We can clean up the charts a little bit. I'll leave these levels down here because they will be significant if we do want to keep pushing lower. We're going to go to London Open, see what's happened. Just taking our Asian lows here, see if we get a closure on a 15 above this CIVI, and then we can potentially look for longs just to Asian highs. Alright, looks like we're going to reject straight away and just look to continue this downward move. Just check on the higher time frames. I think based on all of this higher time frame order flow, we should be looking for a move lower here. Yeah. We still have this volume imbalance sitting right here, so this is potential nice little short trade. One-to-one, probably not the risk reward that we're looking for, to be honest. We're going to take out these lows in here. It's 3 o'clock. I think this could be a play for us here. Entering just $100 risk right now. Probably wait till 4, see if we can add our full position size. There we go. We're at this 4-hour BC right now, so all these levels we're just going to watch and see. This is an interesting play right here. All of the volume that's been left because we took out that low. See if we get an inversion. Still respecting on a 15-minute for now. Bit of indecision. 4 o'clock. Just see where 4 o'clock is. 4's right here, so we should start pushing up usually from 4 o'clock. We'll just see if we can get a market structure shift. It's looking likely. Just need a closure above all those highs, not a wick. There's a closure above this high. It's a small one, but it's still a closure. Approaching this hourly CB. 4-hour doesn't look too great for continued pricing. So yeah, I think this could be the reversal play right here. It's 4 o'clock. Usually we don't come back to this level. So if we can use this swing low down here. And really we can just continue back on the bullish trend. Still got Monday's high, which has been left untapped. Whether we get all the way back there today on a Thursday, who knows, but this is what we'd be looking at. Risk 150, and let's see how this plays out. So the reason I'm liking the reversal play is we saw all this volume leave, especially on the 15. Look at that volume, and it's a wicking candle as well after hitting a higher time frame point of interest. So all those confluences combined gives me enough reason to think that, hey, we could be continuing that higher long-term trend that we saw before. Put this back to a 5. Just our stops as we're moving up. Because if this violently reverses on us, at least the risk is reduced for us as well. It's just finding that balance. giving it enough room to breathe, and then we just got to be mindful. It's probably best bet just to get yourself out of the trade before 8:30 open, because more than likely that volatility is just going to spike all over the joint. We'll give it a bit just before 8:30, because I do think we're going to get taken out here because our stops are so tight. So yeah, we'll take the $35 loss right here. Our stops would have been here, and just watch what 8:30 does. If we wick all of this out, then it was the right call. Yeah. It is what it is. It could have definitely been going the other way as well, you know, so you can't really do too much about that. If we come back till midnight, maybe we flick this to 1 minute. If we can come back to midnight, we might look to see if we can join it on the move to Monday's high. Still got 9:30 open coming as well. So. Alright, Monday's high taken. Would have been a great 5-hour trade right there. Can't win them all. So that's Thursday. It is what it is. That might have tilted me if it was real capital on the line. But yeah, that's why I have all these levels out, as you can see. Nice reaction right there. Volume to back it up as well. That's super important. If you can see the volume consistent with that too, on the reversal candle profile like that, you're green lighted, and at 4 o'clock as well. All those things combining, it was a really nice trade idea. I'm happy with that still. And then we'll jump into Friday's day. And then, so decent push up on the Thursday. So this is why I like trading Wednesday, Thursday. I think they're the highest probable days to trade. If you caught this move on Wednesday, you could have got all of that. Downward move. Thursday, obviously all of this. Whereas like Monday, even Tuesday, it's a lot of chop, not much movement. And then Wednesday, Thursday. Friday can potentially as well. But basically the way that I like to trade Fridays is, how did Monday go? So Monday was like a very tight range day. More than likely Friday is going to be a pretty tight range day too. So I think more than likely the highest probability play is we come down a little bit just to fill out the gaps left from the previous day. On 4 out of these have all been filled though, to be fair. So we could just see higher pricing. Asia's already started off pretty bullish as well, so it's a good indication that we might just pump from here. So let's see if we can get a better entry if this wants to pull back on us. We've got midnight resting right here. We've got liquidity all here. I like this move if we can run down, take all this out at 3, and then 4 we get a reversal back to the upside. Alright, so 3 is the spill down. See if we can take midnight, and ideally this liquidity in here. Just watching the volume as well. Alright, so there's that liquidity taken just like we had planned. We're approaching 4 o'clock now too. Good reaction on a 15. I think this green lights us to go in here actually. Still got liquidity here, so 4 o'clock might spill just a little bit lower due to everyone out in the first 10 minutes and then reverse. Nice reaction off midnight. So here's 4 o'clock. See if we take out this liquidity as we expected. No. Alright, so that green lights me right there to just jump straight in. Keep the risk just a little bit below those lows. I still think they're pretty susceptible, just because it's equal lows sitting there too now. The risk reward is going to be pretty yucky, to be honest, but actually that's fine because we can just get back in. I need to keep telling myself that. Even if we get stopped out here, just look to see if we can get back in here, or maybe it's reversing. So set the stop loss to its job. Looking for the 1 to 7, let's not be greedy. Even 7 is a crazy trade. 1 to 7 here, gonna risk our 200 on this position. This will be it for this week. We'll cap the backtesting session here, and then we'll come back week by week. It looks like a bit of a losing week, but this is what I'm talking about. If you keep your risk at a manageable rate, I think 20% of your drawdown, so if you have a $2,000 account, $400, but in this case I'm going back to 10%. If you keep it manageable, I think you've got a fair bit to make in not a lot of time as well. So let's see how this trade wants to play out. Alright. We're going to stay in this one just because of everything that we had discussed before. There was the lows that I was thinking about. I I still think they're taken. Maybe 7 o'clock is when we see the push up. Alright, displaced right down with volume as well on a 5 here and on a 15. So yeah, this could be a massive TGIF right here. It's good that we took our stops here rather than trying to go here or anything like that. We'll just watch this hourly, see how this hourly goes. I think it's going to be a big TGIF day. What a Friday. Ideally, if we can come back up into midnight, this would be a high probability play for me. This would be my last trade. I don't even know where we'd run though, to be honest. Let me just check the daily here. Yeah, it'd probably just be a short move, I'd say. Maybe to this BISI in here. It's probably why we've stopped just shy of it, and then last little push down. I reckon this is the play here. So we're gonna make it a limit, risk 100 because we've already lost our 200, and yeah, let this one play out. It's 8:30 open, 9:30. Oh, that was very close. Looking for a push to the downside now. No bueno. Watching 10-10 and pump right up. So not the greatest backtesting session today. Tough one to read, to be honest. I think timing as well, like I wasn't really sticking to my timing for getting in and out of trades on this one. So a bit of a rough session. That's alright, they're not all going to be bangers, and so maybe this would have just been a whack week. Risk management wise wasn't too bad. We've lost about 500 for the week, which I can't really complain about. We'll run this back again next week and go from there. As always, thanks for your time. If you enjoyed the content, please consider liking, subscribing, hitting that bell so you know when I upload. Leave a comment. Feedback is always welcomed. Appreciate you guys. Peace.